In this studio, we're going to do organic chemistry, and the topic we are going to concentrate on is acid chlorides. So what are acid chlorides? Okay, let's break it down so that we are able to understand the concept. Okay, so when you're talking about acid chlorides, acid chlorides. So when you're talking about acid chlorides, we are simply talking about a certain compound which is formed when a carboxylic acid reacts with a halogen. So when we have compound formed when an acid, so let me say when a carboxylic acid reacts with halogen, so that compound which is formed is what is known as an acid chloride. So let's look at a general way you can represent this. So we know that the structure of an acid is the arrow group bonded to this COH, right? The carboxylic group. So what happens is actually this OH will be removed and will be replaced. So it will be removed and it's gonna be replaced by a halogen. It could be chloride, or it could be bromide, or it could be iodide, or it could be fluoride. So it's going to be replaced by this or these halogens rather. So this is what happens for an acid chloride to be formed. So in short, what we are talking about is that this OH can be replaced by many different things, and we can just say an acid chloride has this structure whereby X can represent a chloride, an iodide, a bromide, an iodide, or a fluoride. So that is what we need to understand. So let's look at some nomenclature. During our introduction, we defined nomenclature as the systematic way of naming an organic compound. So even this acid chloride have a systematic way to name them. So how do you name them? You see, we said that an acid is replaced by a chloride, right? So what happens is that for an acid, carboxylic acid, we said it ends with I or C, carboxylic acid. So this IC will be replaced by the YL, like the way when we have methane, which is CH4, when it gets to lose one hydrogen, it becomes CH3. We no longer call it methane. This one becomes what we call methyl. Have you seen? So we add YL. So same applies to the acid. So the acid, when it loses that OH, it becomes it is replaced by these letters, the suffix which is YL. Okay, so if it was maybe ethanoic acid, for example, let me give an example. If it was ethanoic acid, we'll remove ice, so it will be what? Ethanol. Then we put the name of the chloride which has bonded with this acid, so it could be maybe chloride, or it might be bromide. You see, right? So let's understand some nomenclature. Let's try to name some compound. Let's say I have a compound of this kind. I'm going to use skeletal structure because that is the worldwide recognized way of naming organic compound or representing organic compound. That is a worldwide agreed upon way of representing the organic compound. So let's try to name this compound. Let's count the carbon atoms. So we have one carbon there. Even there we have another carbon. If you haven't learned about how to count the number of carbon atoms, we have a topic on our channel. You can just get to search it. Just search introduction to chemistry, then, or you can search maybe skeletal structure, then you put Meticulous hub. It will bring a complete video now to understand how to count the number of carbon atoms in a skeletal structure and all that. Alright, so let's name this. So it has 2 carbon atoms. So because it has 2 carbon atoms, the name should start with F, right? So the name should start with F, like that. 2 carbon atoms, it is F. So initially we get to understand that it was ethanoic. It was ethanoic, then reacted with a chloride to form this compound. So we said that when it has been reacted with a halogen, we remove ice. Okay, so we replace it with YL. Then we add the name of the chloride which has reacted. So it's chloride, like that. So this is ethanol chloride. So this is how to name this compound. So this is the systematic. It is the agreed upon way of naming this compound. Now we might discover that this one, same compound, it has a common name. So this ethanol chloride, the common name, if you find a name written as acetyl chloride, the acetyl chloride is the one which is also called the ethanol chloride. So that is just the common name, acetyl chloride. Let's look at another compound. Let's say I have this particular compound. It is like this, CH3. Then I have, okay, let me use skeletal structure. Okay, let me first represent this compound in a condensed form. So it is CH3CH2. Then I have this carbon reacting with oxygen there and a chloride, like that. So what would be the name? So I just get to count the carbons. For easy understanding, let's represent this in a skeletal structure. So it will be 1, 2, 3. We represented. Okay, how many carbons atom do we have? So there are 1, 2, 3. Yes. So it's 1, 2, 3. There are 3 now. So at carbon number 3, we have that oxygen, and we have the chloride there. So what would be the name? Now let me get rid of this. So the name of this compound, we just count the number of carbon atoms, 1, 2, 3. So this compound will be what? It will be, it has 3, so it is prop. Initially it was propanoic acid, now it reacted with the chloride, so it will be propan. No. Then the IC, instead of being propanoic, we remove IC and replace with YL. So it would be propanol. What is the halogen? It's chloride. So that is how you name this compound. Let's look at another compound. Let's say I have this particular compound. Like that. So what would be the name? So I get to count from the functional group. So that is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, so there are 6 carbons. So that is what? Hex, right? So it should be hexanoic. So instead of putting IC, we'll remove that IC and replace it with YL. So hexanoyl. Then what is the name of the halogen? It is bromide. So bromide. Sometimes they might put a methyl group somewhere. Let's make it interesting. What if a methyl group is there and an ethyl group is there? What would be the name of this compound? So let's name it. So we just need to make sure that we name the substituents. So the substituents at position number 5, there is methyl. At position number 3, there is ethyl. So which one do you get to name first? The one which has E, ethyl. So E is first in the alphabet, then M, which is methyl. Okay, so we'll start with eth. So we'll say at position number 3 we have ethyl. Then at position number 5, we have methyl. What is the name of this parent chain? It is hexanoic, but we remove IC, replace it with YL. Then you add the name of the chloride, bromide. So this compound now will change its name. It will be 3-ethyl 5-methyl hexanyl bromide. That is just to make it interesting in case you were asked. Okay, that is how to name it. So that is very interesting. Thank you for watching.